never make it through the day. All those ignorant minds and the cruel things they say, and there's no excuse in this day and age. What are they teaching them at home? It's so unfair. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Hello and welcome to Jamie TV, streaming 100% live on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here. Whether you are watching me from the future or whether you are joining me live right now, thank you very, very much for joining me. Jade is in the chat. Jade, can you just let me know that the audio and visuals are okay, if you don't mind? Thank you very much. It's been a long time since I have done the stream. I did attempt to do this exact stream that I'm going to do today on Saturday, and I just could not get it to work. I've been fiddling around with all the settings in OBS. I've spent such a vast amount of time on it, and it seems to be working now. So if anyone in the chat could just confirm to me that everything sounds okay and looks okay, that would be awesome. In fact, what I'm going to do, just for my own benefit here, I'm just going to have a little zap through all my other screens, make sure all my cameras are working. My iPad view, camera 2, camera 3, and back to me for the moment. Okay, right, so what are we doing today? Songtember. Songtember was, I think I'm right in saying that it was started by Pete Johns about 3 years ago, and it is there. No, but thank you very much for joining me. Just let me know if the audio and visuals are okay. Thank you very much. All right, so Songtember was started by Pete Johns about 3 years ago, and it is not a competition, it is simply a challenge. So I realized that some people who watch my channel might not be familiar with Pete Johns or indeed Jade Starr, who I'll mention in a moment. So I'll cover this very, very briefly, and if you want to know any more detail, go to How to App on iOS by Jade Starr, or Studio Live Today, Mr. Pete Johns' channel, where there's lots more Songtember information. There's also a Facebook group that you should join if you haven't done already, called Create, Record, Release, where lots of other people who are getting involved with Songtember will be posting their stuff, listening to each other's tracks and helping each other out, which is kind of what this is all about. So the point of this is, during the month of September, write a song or instrumental. It doesn't have to have words, and record it and release it. Release it doesn't mean that you have to put it on Spotify or anything. You could simply put it on YouTube or SoundCloud, or just share it on Facebook, just so that you actually put it out there for people to hear. The point is, hey Gregory, thanks for joining us. The point of it is, there are lots of people who just need a bit of a kick up the arse. There are some amazingly talented people who are part of this community, who have great songs and amazing amounts of talent, who just need a bit of a kick up the arse to kind of actually record and finish a song and get it out there. You know, I know loads of people have got loads of songs that are just kind of sitting around not doing anything. Get them recorded, get one of them out there, and let's have a listen to it. And the thing about Songtember is, it's just a challenge, a personal challenge to you to actually do it. There's no winners other than yourself when you actually complete something and get it out there. And because lots of people will be taking part in it. Oh, and by the way, don't twat the camera, Jamie. By the way, when you post anything online about Songtember, use hashtag Songtember, and it just makes it easier for people to find that content. Right? So I was saying something and I've got distracted as usual. Oh yeah, because lots of people are taking part in Songtember, it's a nice feeling. It's kind of it's like lots of people are doing it, helping each other out, and listening to each other's stuff. Lots of encouragement and help available. Now, it was started by Mr. Pete Johns, who is doing lots of streams about Songtember, and so is Jade Starr, and they are available to help out. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Jade. They're available to help out, right? So if you're having some problems with some software, a recording technique, anything like that, then reach out. And also, I would like to be part of that as well. You can reach out to me too, and all my information about how to contact me and stuff will be found down below the video. Don't be shy, just reach out if I can help at all. And also for my patrons, anyone signed up to my Patreon account, I am prepared to play on people's Songtember songs. So if you're working on a tune and you think, that stupid hippie would be great at just playing a bit of bass on this, or singing me a backing vocal, or putting me a bit of lead guitar down, something like that. I'm also checking out mixers and just helping generally, okay? That's what this Songtember thing is all about. Okay, so I had a failed stream on Saturday where I was going to do exactly what I'm doing in this stream. The idea was to start the recording of my Songtember song. Now we're already halfway through the month, so I better crack on with it, I think. So where I've started is right here. I, by the way, already did 2 videos about this. Not live streams, just normal YouTube videos. In the first one, all I've done is I talked a little bit about Songtember, and I recorded just a live performance in here. I just finished writing my song, so I just recorded it, just vocal and acoustic guitar, just playing it through, not perfectly, just making the kind of I often do that when I've written a song. I'll just put my camera on my iPhone and just record it, and it's kind of like a note. Like, what if I don't get to do any more work on that song for a few weeks? Then I'll forget it, right? So I just make a note, and I record myself so that I can see what my hands are doing, so it helps me remember the chords or riffs or whatever, right? So I've shared a video like that, and then in my second video, I shared how I arranged the song. So how did I decide on the key and the chords and how I would arrange them, and how did I work out the melody and stuff like that. So there are those 2 videos to watch also if you haven't seen them. Right, so for now, let's go to my main view and check my cameras are all still working, because I keep twatting this one over here, talking with my hands, right? Everything seems to be working. So here's what I've done so far. I've recorded a very rough take. Where's my mouse for the iPad? Here we go. Right, so I've recorded a very rough take of the acoustic guitar part here. It's not necessarily going to be an acoustic song at all. It's just, I like to write that way. That works for me. There's no correct place to start writing a song. There's no proper workflow, and I don't use the same method every time, but this is one method that often works for me, that I do quite often use. So I'll start with an acoustic guitar and work out the chords, the melody, the words, get all that stuff together before I try and put a note down at all. So here, up here is the acoustic guitar, and I've used this colour because a lot of acoustic guitars are that sort of colour, right? And then here, the pink bit, that's my very, very rough vocal, and that's what was playing in the background when this stream started. So the idea of today is not to try and get any finished parts down. You know, I'm not going to try and like get any stunning playing down or anything. I'm just going to start putting some instruments on here, kind of roughly, and getting an idea of what the kind of content might be musically for this song. One thing that I spent quite a bit of time with was it was the BPM, because I'm playing the song, right, when I wrote it, and I'm thinking it's kind of like the verse is kind of a bit ballady. It could be a bit slow and miserable, but then when it gets into the pre-chorus and the chorus, it's a much more powerful song. And so I don't know whether I might use some double time or something, because if I just play, where is the verse? The verse is about there. I'll turn it up a moment. So this part, the feel of this is quite ballady. You'll never make it through the day. But then when we get into the chorus, we don't care. After this G7, and never give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. So I want that to be much more powerful. So I spent quite a bit of time with the BPM. I put the metronome on in Cubasis 3 and I just played it and kept changing it, and just to see what tempo did I feel that the words were coming out. But I didn't want it to be too slow and kind of drag, but I wanted to be able to get the words out and make them very clear. So I ended up settling on 130 BPM, which sounds like it should be quite a pacey track. But then when you hear that verse, I guess that's kind of maybe a half-time sort of a feel. So where to start? I think I don't really want to have a metronome clicking all the way through the stream, so maybe we'll start with getting an idea of some drums. So what I'll do is I'll just go to add. Hang on, remember to use the mouse, stupid hippie. I'll go to add. I never remember to use it. And add a Midi track. And then we'll go here and let's just go and right. So now I can't use the mouse because I need to go down this drop down list, and Steinberg have still not implemented mouse wheel in Cubasis 3. So I'll have to use my finger, which is the point of this camera over here. And we'll just grab, where's Rock Kit? Oh no, that's in the other. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kit it is. We just need a kit. Let's go with Studio Kit. Right, now if I just... Oh, now then. I'm going to need a keyboard to hit things. Okay. Pull this old iRig keys over here. Plug it in. Why does that keep happening? I'll put my mouse over here. That's probably a good idea. Right then, so now if I arm this track, oh, there we are, I've got some drums. Right, and go down an octave, there we are. Right, they're not very loud, are they? Maybe I mixed these things a bit too high, actually. Let's drag these down a bit. Put that back to 0 and then turn up over here, and then now I can hear it over the track. That's better. And never give up, never give in, never back down. Okay, right, so some drums then. Let's have a bit of a tinker. Maybe from about here. A bit of an epic fail. Okay. Sometimes you must feel a stick click. You'll never make it through the day. Hey, William. Oh, it's Jim. Hi, Jim. Something like that. Right, let's just have a bit of a go at that. I am the world's worst drummer. One of the things I really wanted to, because I play quite a lot of different instruments, one of the things I really wanted to be good at when I started out, and I'm still awful at, is drumming, and I'm even terrible at finger drumming. I'm not looking for a full drum part here, by the way. I'm just looking for a sketch, just an outline of a feel is where we're at right now. Sometimes you must feel you'll never make it through the day. Right. Let's just pop in there. And right, so we can see my timing's not marvelous. If I double click here on the screen, which again I did with my finger instead of a mouse, Now, quantize is set to eighth notes. I'm never really sure, actually, with what fraction to set this at. I just kind of do it, and if it goes wrong, I just try a different one. Press quantize. I can see let's move some notes, so let's see what this is like. Sometimes you must feel you'll never make it through the day. There, you'd never know just how awful my playing was there. Right, so if I just come out of here now, I have to change this channel to red because drums are red. There we go. And I'm just going to pull in this excess here. I've no idea what to do with the drums during the introduction, so I'm going to leave that for now until inspiration hits me. Can outside drum effects, say from GarageBand, be used? Well, you can use outside effects. Now, if we're talking about the Android version of Cubasis 3, then you cannot use anything from outside. Everything has to be internal to Cubasis. But on the iOS version, you can use third-party stuff. You couldn't use an effect from GarageBand because I don't think there's a way to kind of route any audio out of Cubasis into GarageBand and back in. Pretty sure that's the case. Plus that would be two large pieces of software, and for a lot of iPads there would be a bit much to ask, but there are plenty of effects, AUV3 effects available very, very cheaply on iOS that could be used in that way. And as we go along, I will be doing some of that stuff, Jim, so stay tuned, dude. Now, here, where does this want to start again? Right there, okay. I seem to have accidentally recorded an 8-bar sequence. It wasn't particularly my intention, but copy and just zap that across to here and paste that in. See what that's like over the second half. All those ignorant minds and the cruel things they say. Right, now here's where I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that pattern that I've recorded there would work over this feel here. And there's no excuse in this day and age. What are they teaching them at home? If my acoustic guitar playing was perfectly in time, it would work. Excuse me, trying to just cough off of mic. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Rise above and show them you don't care. Here may be a fill. And never give up, never give up. I'm wondering whether I could go for a more double time feel in the chorus, or whether it just needs to be a much more powerful kind of arrangement. This, of course, is not a drum part, it is just a drum sketch. At this point, we're just getting a feel for everything. So, what about if I went quicker here? And never give up, never give in, never back down. Of who you are, live your best life, follow your dream, don't let them take your self-esteem. You will always be. I'm really not convinced. I'm not sure. I'm devoid of inspiration when it comes to drums for this part right now. Maybe I'll work on another instrument for this part first and come back to drums. What I am interested in right now is for this verse part, I've got this. Let me just mute these tracks here. Just listen to the acoustic part here. Which has been pointed out to me sounds a little bit like While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and it also sounds a little bit like Stairway to Heaven. But I think it's shocking that the Beatles obviously invented time travel just so that George Harrison could come forward in time to steal my riff and take it back in time and have a huge hit with it. I just hope I have like as big a hit with the original idea. All right, so my interest here is I kind of think that might sound nice on a piano. It sounds great on the guitar, but I'm not thinking acoustic guitar for this song. I could end up changing my mind, but I'm not feeling acoustic guitar. One of the reasons for that might well be because when I go out solo, I do acoustic versions of my songs. So acoustic versions happen anyway. So it's nice for me when I record something to try and do a full band version of things. So I was kind of thinking that might sound nice on a piano. But it does sound nice on the guitar anyway, so I don't know. But I'm going to just have a go with it on the piano and then I can make a decision. I find the best thing to do, I came up with this way of thinking many years ago. We were very, very young. We were in the studio making our first demo, and it was one of those situations where making your first demo, it takes a lot of saving up money to be able to afford to go into the studio and do that. And so every second counts. And the band, we kind of had opposing viewpoints about the way that we should approach a certain section of a song. And they were all arguing about it. And I said, look, let's just play it, right? Let's play it your way. And then we'll play it his way, and then we'll listen back and we'll say which is better and just make the decision like that, So my approach is, if you have an idea, don't sit and think about it, just do it and then see. So I'm going to add just a MIDI track here, which needs to be white because piano is white, but I always do it white on the desktop, but Cubasis 3 doesn't do white, and it really upsets me. So we'll make it, for now, this, unselect that, and then we'll make it this sort of greeny blue colour that I don't particularly like either, right? And so that should have given me... Oh, it's automatically selected Studio Kit. Right, let's just go swap that for a piano. Acoustic piano will do us for now. Right, so what I'm playing there is I am playing an A minor. And it has a descending bass line. Would it be better lower? No, that sounds too low. Right, it has a descending bass line which goes A, G, F sharp, and then we play an F7 to C and then D major. So I don't need this A here at the bottom of the A chord because I'm going to play a descending. Yeah, so I'll play the top two notes and add an octave on top of the A. And then maybe not play this on the low octave because the bass might play those notes. So maybe up here. What happens next? I'm not sure how to play that bit that I played on the guitar, on the piano there. Maybe actually. Maybe I'll do something different. Let's get to there, shall we? Right, so let me just go into the drums here. And let's just put in a little count to bring me in on time. Being in time is good. Draw. There we go. Right, that should work. Right, okay. This gives me... You notice how out of tune that A was there? But I assure you it is an A minor chord that I'm playing. This gives me a perfect opportunity to show you something in Cubasis 3. Now, I like to play wherever possible in E-flat tuning on the guitar. So for anyone who doesn't know guitar stuff, basically I take every string down by one semitone, because it helps me out with vocal range when I'm singing cover songs, which is where the money comes from. And also over the years I've grown to really like the sound of guitars in E-flat. I'm a big fan of Van Halen and Thin Lizzy, Guns N' Roses, and all those. Yeah, exactly, Jade, exactly. The E-flat situation. So here's a thing that you can do in Cubasis, which is very, very simple to solve this problem, and you'd be surprised how many people don't know about it. So if you go into setup, and then you have your menu down here. If you come down, you might expect this little trick to be in Midi, but it's not. It's in keys/pads, and you have a transpose control. If I take this down one semitone, now every Midi note that gets played into Cubasis will be transposed down, right? So now when I play along, it is indeed, Jade, it is indeed. I should be in tune with the track. Should we check it? There we go. Right, so easy as putting on a hat, and it solves. Because these days, I mean, like when I first started out playing, pretty much everybody was in standard all the time. Because I'm old. And then, when people started using like drop D and stuff, it was really, really new. But nowadays, I mean, I've got students, young kids who start learning bass with a 5-string bass. I've got students who all the music that they like is in like C or drop C. So it's quite normal now, and so that function, I'd imagine, is very helpful to a lot of people if they know about it. Right, so let's see if I can play this piano part without totally embarrassed. I'm not a good piano player, but I'm a lot better on piano than on drums. So what was the part again? There's my 7. C and D. Then I'm not sure. See how much of an arse I can make of this. Okay, well, I did better than I expected, but that last bit, which was just a sort of a last minute idea, I think sounded terrible. But let's just have a listen to it. You'll never make it through the day. I went bass chord, bass chord, bass chord. Maybe it should have been the other way around. Gregory, honestly, I think it's disgraceful that Led Zeppelin stole my idea, as did the Beatles. Shocking. you'll never make it through the day. You know what? What might be nice is if the chord just, if it's just a chord, like a, you'll never make it through the day. Oh, and then, oh, I didn't realize I pressed record then. Okay, I did. And then, you know, just hit the chord and let it hang. And maybe have a little bluesy guitar lick there or something. Because there's a gap in the vocal, maybe a bluesy guitar lick there might be quite nice. All right, so now if you ever have this problem where you have overlapping MIDI in Cubasis 3, because in Cubasis 3 up to now there's no way to sort of like merge MIDI. You can't like record MIDI and it automatically point with my mouse. So like here I recorded this MIDI after this MIDI. There's no way to like record it and like merge this in with this part, but all you have to do is just go to multiple, select up there, highlight both, and then you go to glue, and they will join together. And if there are overlapping parts, they will all be in your MIDI part. There was a time when it didn't quite work quite so efficiently as that, but it does now. Jim, you're 65. Are you really? 65. Oh, you just made me feel younger. Thank you for that. Thank you. And Jade also is catching me up. Now. You'll never make it through the day. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, so I like that idea. I think that might work. I'm not going to time my piano. This obviously is not the final piano part, but I'm not... you are, Jade. I actually didn't think that you were... I would have said you were at least... I'm looking at the chat on my screen, talking to you, right? I should be talking here. Stupid hippie. I would have said that you were maybe 5-6 years younger than me, so looking good, Jade. Now, I'm not going to... Yes, that's what I was saying. I'm not going to time my piano part. I tend to think that when you're playing instruments like pianos, if you time them, they tend to sound like really robotic and rigid, and I really don't want that. I want real feel. So, yeah, this is actually not the finished part. We're getting ideas down for now. So, 5 a layer. Thank you, Jade. Now then, let's see. So that part, let's copy that and just shove it over here and see what it's like. I think I might need to start it about here. Paste that over there. Oh, that didn't go where I wanted it to. Drag that over. Right. All those ignorant minds and the cruel things they say, and those piano parts might need a bit more movement in them, but for now it's an idea. I'm using, by the way, I just noticed what I'm using for my rough acoustic part and rough vocal part, I just used the basic reverb in Cubasis 3, which does sound quite nice. It's not a stellar reverb, but to say that it's... I can just close off that tuner that I used for the acoustic there. And I'm also using the same thing on the acoustic guitar. Something that a lot of people don't realize about Cubasis, I'll just tell you very, very quickly. If you use, right, so here on my acoustic guitar, you point with the mouse, right, so here's my acoustic guitar. If I go to Insert Effects, any effects I add in here affect only that instrument. Now, if I go to Send Effects and add an effect there, I'm adding an effect that I can now send any other instrument in Cubasis 3 to. So this means that it's only open once. That effect, that Send effect, is only using one lot of DSP, if you like, right? It's only taking up one lot of digital signal processing power. So you could send like 40 instruments to that one same instance, and that's why you have a level for it here, so you can adjust the level of reverb that you are sending to that unit. Now I realize that some people watching this will be thinking, yeah, we know that, Jamie, that's kind of basic, but there are actually quite a lot of people who I have seen when they're struggling with DSP and they're sharing projects, what they've done is they've used reverbs and delays as insert effects. Any effect that you're using that might be usable by multiple instruments, use it as a send. Okay, now I have an idea that might seem like a really stupid idea, but I've kind of got this idea that, hello T-Mac from Florida, thank you for joining us. Any Cubasis 3 questions you ever have, or Cubasis 2 questions, feel free to ask, and if you don't feel comfortable asking them in the chat, or you think I might have missed them because I'm kind of busy recording the track and I might miss something of what's going up the screen, but feel free to reach out to me. All my contact information is down below the video, email, social media, the lot, so you can always message me and ask me a question. I don't mind at all. Okay, but can the effect be removed after it's been recorded and replaced with another when mixing? Yes, it can. Because yeah, I do, Gregory, I do. It is better than the basic reverb. Absolutely, Roomworks SE is better, but all I needed was just something quick and easy, just to make my rough recording sound better. Actually, in truth, when it comes to mixing and doing an actual project, I use very little in the way of effects that are built into Cubasis 3. Not that there's anything wrong. Actually, some of them really are quite good for inbuilt effects. But there are better ones that you can buy third party. I mean, if you think like Cubasis 3, when it's full price, costs about 50 quid. Mixbox costs something like, in that region, it's pretty expensive by iOS standards. And it's just effects, so they're better quality, obviously. Right then, so yes, Jim, if I have an effect, right, so let's select my guide vocal here. I've got a send vocal. I've got a send vocal, I've got a send reverb. Right, so I've got a send reverb on my vocal, and so we just solo a little bit of vocal here. All those ignorant minds. Right, so you can hear the reverb there. If I decide I'm happy with my vocal sound, the effects on it and everything, and I want to mix it down just like that, I can press freeze and it will render that audio with all the effects mixed in there. I can't then remove the effects from the frozen version, but at this point, all those ignorant minds, I can switch it on and off. I can select different reverbs and the cruel and any number of effects. So as I add another send here, it will open up another slot. I can add many sends with different effects. I can compare them, swap and change. So yeah, I can kick that reverb out anytime and swap it out for something else. Okay, so here's my idea. When we get to this section of the song, and there's no excuse In this day and age, take the solo off, you stupid hippie. What are they teaching them at home? It's so unfair. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Slate. You've purchased Slate, Jim. Isn't that just desktop only? I don't think you can use that. As far as I'm aware, I don't think you can use that with iPad recording at all. But if you have a desktop setup and you want any help with that, then I do that as well. Though I don't use Slate stuff, but I can probably help you. If you send me an email or a message on Facebook, detail exactly what's going on, and I'll see what I can do to help, mate. Right, so my idea is I kind of felt like a nice synthy arpeggio might work here. And typically the kind of music I normally record, you might expect me, well, why don't you play an arpeggio on the guitar? Stop twatting that camera, you stupid. But it's just an idea, and I just want to see what it's like. So I'm going to add a track. Add a MIDI track. And the first thing I'll do is brought me up a piano by default. I'm going to put the chords in here. So what are the chords? I'll take it back one bar. And there's no excuse. F, C. And there's no excuse in this day and age. A minor. What are they teaching them at home? It's so unfair. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Rise above G and show them you don't G7. Care. And never give. Right, okay, bear with me. You'll see what I'm doing in a moment. I'm just gonna see if I can get these chords down. And there's no excuse in this day and age. What are they teaching them at home? It's so unfair. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Rise above and show them you don't care. And never give up, never give. Right, okay. T-Mac says, you're a lifelong musician, primary bass player. Me too. I play loads of things, but I've been asked to join quite a few bands as a guitar player, but I really, in a live situation, I really enjoy playing bass much better. It's just where I feel at home. You play a lot of cover gigs in E flat too. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing, on average, I'm playing at the moment 3 gigs a week, and I do a lot of weddings and functions and clubs and the occasional pub. I used to do loads of pub work, but it just doesn't pay well now. But and I host an acoustic jam as well that's at one of my locals, and is a lot of fun. Right, so in fact, really, playing the covers gigs means I can earn enough of a living so that when I do actually have a little bit of free time, I can actually do some music for me. That really is what being a professional musician has boiled down to for me. Right, so I'm going to quantize these notes. I'm going to try and show you something I think I can remember how to do. So this is a new section I just played in. If I double tap the screen, can I do that with a mouse? Let's just see. That doesn't seem to work with the mouse, so let's go. Oh, it's because I'm on draw, right? Go to select. Let's try it with the mouse again. Yeah, it does work. Okay, so now everything I just played is selected. Now we'll go to because this is a section that does need to be quantized. You'll see why. Now, if I go to this button here and press ends, because I want to quantize this, but I also want all of the ends to be even. And what that should do is make all of the note endings the same length. You see? Right, so they've all snapped to the grid, which makes it much easier to do this next job, which is to make all of these chords last. Actually, are they all one note short of? Right, let's not do those ones, we'll do all these ones. I want all of these to last up to the end of the bar. Okay. And here we go. Just make the screen size a little smaller there. Might be just a little easier to navigate. Right, we'll do these ones. I think they all need to be adjusted by the same amount. Yeah, and then these ones. Okay, now that I've done that, I should be able to trim this down. So my idea is I was messing around with Animoog Z the other day, and I heard this arpeggio sound, and I wondered whether it might work in this track, and I haven't had time to try it. So I'm going to see if I can find the same sound. And it might sound absolutely terrible, but that's what this is all about, is ideas. Hey Grant, thanks for being here, man. Thank you. Nice to see you. Right, select my instrument. Then I'll go into audio units and go to Animoog Z. Right, now if I just make sure that my... Oh, undo that movement there. Right. My track is armed. There we are. Right. Okay, so that's sound. You know what I should do is I'm just going to move my markers here and put them either side of that part I just played in. Then I can leave it playing and mess about with sounds. I've accidentally dragged that onto the wrong track, look. What a stupid hippie. Is it in the right place? And there's no and I've also accidentally opened up Animoog Z where the piano is. Right, well, let's just swap them around, yeah? So move that to there. Move these. Select. Move these pianos down here. Let's just make sure everything's right again. This is one of the drawbacks of a touchscreen interface. Right. Okay. So Animoog Z. If I open it up like this, and there's no excuse in this, then I can go to my sounds here, and then you can select a tag. So get the mouse. Right, so this is my list of available sounds. If I go over here, I can select a tag. So like, I'm looking for something that is an arpeggio, right? So I just highlight arpeggio, and then everything in the list is going to be an arpeggiated sound. So there's no excuse. Totally inappropriate sound, but you get the point. Okay. Now, there was a sound here I fancied trying it in this song. And it's... was it the Kraftwerk one? And there's no excuse in this day and age. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. What are they teaching them? Let's just solo that. Okay. Driving arpeggio. That's the kind of thing I was thinking. I'd kind of like a go at blending some more modern I didn't put loop on. More modern synthy sounds with some traditional rock sounds. There was a particular sound, that's it. Mental Health. That sounds too bassy and low now. Now I hear it now. You don't care. I never give. And there's no excuse. Try transposing this up an octave. What are they teaching them at home? It's so unfair. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Rise above and show them you don't care. And never give. Alright, okay. I don't think that's 100% exactly the kind of sound I want, but it is the kind of arpeggio that I want. It's close to the sort of sound I kind of had in my head. It's not really quite there, but I'm going to leave that there now. It's an idea. And now let's see. The chorus is the thing that's bothering me the most about. I kind of really want it to pick up, I want it to be very powerful. And that's why when I arrange the chords, like you'll see, do you know, I'm going to have to reposition this because I twat it all the time. I'm talking with my hands. When I was arranging those chords, like I was talking about in the second Songtember video, I really kind of made a lot of effort to make sure that in the chorus that was where my voice would be most powerful. I mean, it's not a powerful voice by any stretch, but powerful for me. So it would really open up in the chorus. So I really want the music to be very powerful. So what I'm going to do just very quickly, because I intended to stream for about an hour today, I guess, is I'm just going to go to here, and I'm going to add an audio track, which I'm going to make blue because guitars are blue. Oh, Animoog's still selected. You know, I do that all the time. Right, unselect that, come down to track 6, make that blue, and let's label it Git. Okay, and then I'm going to just go to my insert effects. I'm going to grab a tuner. I find the Nimbrini one is my favorite, really. And we'll also just grab an amp that I can get a few different sounds out of. Maybe grab, I didn't mean to press that one at all, the Face Man. right? And then guitar lead, guitar. Right, on the track. And then go to tuner. Make sure my tuning is okay. You can actually press mute and do it silently so you don't have to listen to this stupid old hippie tune up his Silverburst Telecaster. This guitar, by the way, is made by Vintage, and it's a Telecaster. It's as good as getting yourself a full price Fender for a hell of a lot less money, and it's Silverburst. Right, I just want to kind of oh, I left the mute on the tuner, didn't I? Yes. Just want some overdrive just so I can have a tinker around with this bit. Take the loop off. Give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. Always be proud of who you are. Live your best life, follow your dream. I'm just going to mute the acoustic because when I played this rough version in, I kind of just played a typical kind of singer-songwriter kind of like a that kind of a strumming pattern. It's not necessarily the best strumming pattern or rhythm for the song, so let's just mute that and see. And never give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. Always be proud of who you are. Live your best life, follow your dream. Don't let them take your self-esteem. You will always be a shining star. Right? That's my rough idea. So, it's not you that needs to... I don't have any drums in that section, do I? Which doesn't make it particularly easy. So, maybe use the metronome, and let's just check how loud the metronome is. And never give up, never give in, never back to... That's not quite loud enough for me, so I'm going to go to setup, and metronome has its own little section down here. Let's just bring up that volume a bit. And never give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. Always be proud of who you are. Right, I'm just going to put this down as a sketch for this. I mean, that's kind of the first rhythm that I went for when I just now, and I like it, so I'm going to record it, and then I can try putting the drums to it after, and then later on I can record the guitar neatly. And never give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. I'll try playing the right notes, shall I? And also, let's try arming the guitar, then it might actually record. Stupid hippie. And never give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. Always be proud of who you are. Live your best life, follow your dream. Don't let them take your self-esteem. You will always be a shining star. Right, okay. So I think that now tells me what drum rhythm I want to program in.
Never give up, never back down and let them win. Always be proud.
Yes, T-Mac, yes. It was my favourite program when I was, I must have been about 11, I think, when Young Ones came out. Something like that, 10, 11. And yeah, it's probably been my favourite ever program since. Okay, so I'm going to sign off in a moment. I intended to stream for about an hour, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that the stream has has gone without incident. Please let me know before I sign off. Has the stream been okay for you? Has the picture and audio been okay? Has there been any lag at all? Just let me know, because I'm not a person to get particularly nervous or anxious, but I'll tell you what, after the disaster that I had on Saturday, it's really thrown me. And the reason why I'm still a little bit uncomfortable about it is, what I did was I went into OBS and I arsed around with settings, did a test stream, didn't work, arsed around with more settings, did a test stream, didn't work, and I just kept doing that for hours and hours and hours, and eventually I pressed something and it made it work, and I couldn't tell you what I pressed. I just pressed something, and so now I'm not touching it ever again. I'm just gonna leave it exactly as it is. So thank you very much, Jade. Okay, everything seems to be all right, that's fantastic. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for confirming that. It does make me feel an awful lot better about things. So at the moment, what I have is I've got some sketchy ideas, and I want to make this song live in front of people. I'm going to keep streaming it as I make the song, but I need to get on with it. So I'm going to stream whenever I can. I've always kind of felt that when you're streaming, having a regular time is what you really need. It's what's, it's what works for people. I mean, if people always know that if you're going to stream, it's going to be like Doug always does, 8 o'clock, for instance. So if I'm free at 8 o'clock, I put Doug's stream on. I can't really do that. Thank you, Jade. My life is too messy and complicated for me to be able to do the same time every day. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do streams as and when I can and crack on with this song. I want to do the actual creation in front of people as much as possible. So what I will do is, these ideas that I've got down, some of them that I'm happy with, I will fill out a little bit just to sort of save time. But I'm not going to kind of go away and do any kind of like massive amount of recording or anything away from the stream before next time. So I will work out when I can do another stream, and get it advertised as soon as possible. One thing that occurs to me right now is I could do the same time tomorrow. I don't think I'll get a chance to do anything this evening, but I could do the same time tomorrow. So look out for an advert from me in every single iOS group imaginable. All right, I'm just going to play a bit of this track and play it out. So once again, if you are doing anything for Songtember, then don't forget to also check out Jade Starr's channel and Pete Johns' channel. And if you post anything online about it, use hashtag Songtember. And yeah, just crack on with it. There's no correct way to start. Don't wait. Just get on with it. Start anywhere you like. I had a couple of false starts before I came up with this song, and that's just how I arrived at this song, by just keeping at it. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Be good people, and until next time, don't piss your pants about. See you later.
Sometimes you must feel you'll never make it through the day. those ignorant minds and the cruel things they say. And there's no excuse in this day and age. What are they teaching them at home? It's so unfair. No one is born with hatred in their hearts. Rise above and show them you don't care. And never give up, never give in, never back down and let them win. Always be proud of who you are. Live your best life, follow your dreams.